So guys, I've been in a bit of a dilemma on World of Tanks recently in terms of silver. So yeah, I've been pretty much poor down to my last 500,000 silver, and until this morning I didn't really do too much about it. Now, in terms of why that's kind of a big problem, well, of course I'm trying to test out new tanks, get new content for you guys, and of course try and produce some sort of more novel stuff where I can try out some new equipment setups. And when it costs me 1.5 million silver every single time I perk out a crew, or not a crew, a tank with its right equipment and some more novel equipment where, you know, you're losing half of the price basically, because I wouldn't be using some of the equipment in some of the tanks, you know, speed on some of the more like heavily armoured tanks in order to basically try and get faster. Now, in terms of solving this dilemma, well, until today I'd kind of put off playing the Cold War game mode, to be honest with you, and I think for the last kind of couple of days, the last couple of days I've been thinking about it, trying to produce some light tank gameplay. Now, in terms of why I've been putting it off, well, it's mainly down to True Vision and the fact that there's tons of bots within the game, which are something I'm not too interested in. Now, why that is, it's just basically because I don't think it's as competitive as the other game mode. I just don't think that the knowledge base is there on the Cold War game mode. Whether or not maybe I can try and help that, or help you within this game, for those of you who may be lacking some knowledge about how you can kind of play, I guess that's kind of why I'm making this video, along with the fact that we needed to grind out some silver. Now, why is this important to you? Well, in terms of why it's important to you, or potentially important, is you see that tank over there, the Mobat. Well, that is a one that you pick up at season rank 100, and why that's important is because it has such a great earning potential that you'll see at the end of this game. I am playing in the Cobra Cat, but I believe they have the exact same silver bonus. It's just that this one gets slight advantages in alpha damage, but it gets some negatives, and basically you'll be able to take advantage of that to have the best game you can possibly want within World of Tanks. And you can basically earn so much silver, and when I mean like so much, I genuinely mean it is absolutely ridiculous. This is the most amount of silver. I am currently sat on 7 point something million silver, plus I fully kitted out the ISU 122S, I believe, the one that's in the personal offers. I did purchase that this week because I think it's going to be an interesting video to actually make on the game. I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see what you think of a tank that has 3,900 base DPM when you put all of the perks on it. Now, that is ridiculous. 3,900 DPM on a tier 7 tank destroyer. We're going to see how well that actually plays in game. The footage you're seeing in the background of this video, however, is me playing in the Cobra Cat. Of course, we've talked about it. There's the Mobat that we're talking about for the season rank 100 reward, and basically this game is probably one of the best games I've had in the Mobat in terms of the base XP and also the amount of damage we did in this game. However, we could have probably done a little bit more damage if we kind of aimed correctly. You know, we were aiming at the angled turret of the Mobat there, which is, of course, never going to work fully. Now, in terms of what I'm doing here, yes, I see that the T-72 has come forward, but there's no point in dealing damage to him, because if we can get the Mobat on the enemy team out of the game, that means there's one less gun to actually deal with within the game. I don't want to be getting hit by two at once, and I've got the best chance of surviving if we can manage to outplay this T-72. He's kind of made a big problem here for himself. We hit him once and then he misses somehow. Don't quite know how that works. Don't know if it's a bot or not. It kind of, I would be hesitant to call it a player, but yeah, it could well be. We don't exactly know whether it is. However, it does seem to be on the PS4, so maybe it is actually a player. He's obviously maybe took a moment out of the game, got a little bit distracted, and yeah, we've taken all of his hit points for absolutely no damage in return, which is a massive thank you to him for allowing us to have this game. And basically now what we're doing is just cleaning up the rest of the damage, if possible, within this game. Now, as you can see, this tank, really good one. You can certainly earn a ton of silver, and I will leave some clips in the end of the video that you can actually go through to see exactly how much silver you can actually earn per game. I've been on average dealing about 7,000 damage, I believe, in the cat at the moment. I think it's about there anyway. I know that it's been crazy in terms of the amount of damage you can deal, just because it has an 8-second reload to pretty much do 600 damage. Yeah, this thing is an absolute monstrosity within the Cold War game mode. Of course, that's probably fairly similar to what you can expect from the other tanks within this tier or escalation era, the number 2 era within Cold War. But what we do have with this tank is just the ability to push out damage so quickly and be able to use somewhat of our armor. Although this thing doesn't tend to have that much armor within the game mode because, you know, it's a boxy piece of dung on the side anyway. Most people overmatch you in the side of your tank, which basically means that if they hit anywhere on the side of your tank, they automatically pen you regardless of whether it's like a ridiculous angle. I think that's just because the side armor is really weak. Don't know if that's entirely true, but I am almost certain after playing it, like, I've tried angling, it doesn't really work. You don't really ever have anything like that. And now what we see is the M10 or M60A1 rise. So now we're going to aim for the track. Hopefully can get some tracking assist. Don't know how much damage we're going to be able to deal because of our long reload. And the Sheridan's coming in with that 1100 alpha damage gun, and he only does 600 to him. Now, that's good news for us. What we're going to do is put as many shots as possible into him. Unfortunately, we didn't actually deal any damage there. We only tracked him, which is a little bit annoying, but we'll go for another damaging shot in just a second, and we do. We put one into him. The Sheridan misses, thankfully. We're going to try and reload. Can we hit the 10k damage mark? And we can. 10,100 damage, I believe. We picked up 1,100 assistance. You know, a decent game. I'm not going to complain about that one. Yes, we were playing against some bots because that is just Cold War with the bots within the game. But yeah, really nice game. 10,216 damage, 3 enemies destroyed, 1,700 base XP, and of course we came top within the game. No surprise there. And yes, I did make 660,000 silver with no extra operations within the game. The only extra operation I had within this game is actually just having the ×2 silver booster. So base silver I would have made from that game was 330,000 silver. 330,000 silver. That is unbelievable how much silver you can actually rack up within this game. And you know, yes, it was a particularly good game, but trust me, you can average 400,000 silver with the ×2 silver booster on your tank, or at least a premium tank within this one, the highest tier or era that you can possibly get within the game. And yes, you can pick up the amount of silver like this very easily. Of course, we block some damage, and basically this is the best game mode in order to complete those challenges as well. So, you know, the season challenges, yes, there are a ton of them. You can basically complete them very quickly because, you know, the ones that are like deal 25,000 damage in a week, every week that we get, you know, dealing so much assistance damage, because the health pool of the Cold War vehicles is just that much more, you can effectively just complete those challenges super quick. And I think, considering I haven't really played that much this month, I think I've played something like 40 games in total this month on World of Tanks console. Yeah, I've managed to complete every single one of the season challenges other than the platoon ones, because I haven't been platooning up with anyone recently, from weeks 1 to 4, and then I think I'm almost done with week 5, and then we are getting there with week 6, and I've literally played something like 20 games. In terms of how much silver we've made between that, I reckon we've made within probably 2 hours 8 million silver within this game. Yeah, 8 million silver in 2 hours is not bad. I will take it. We're going to be able to purchase some tier 10s that I've never actually purchased before. So that means we can bring out some new content. We're going to be able to feature lots of new gameplay within Cold War as well in terms of the light tanks. I don't quite know how it's going to go. if I don't enjoy it, I won't upload content. You know, it's kind of that simple. I mean, I've not been disliking Cold War, but I do find it not very competitive, and you can deal 9,000 damage fairly easily, at least personally I can. When you're coming up against bots that literally drive straight past you, they don't even turn their turret or their armor towards you, and you can literally take every single hit point of them without taking a single damaging shot from them, then yeah, I find it a little bit of a problem. I also find that the bots actually just go stationary 3/4 of the way through the game. They just stop, they don't move. If you're spotting an enemy on the other side of the map and it's 1 versus 1 in terms of the vehicle, yeah, the bots literally do not move. They won't move towards anyone. What happens is basically you fight the tank. If you die basically within that game, the bot then doesn't do anything continuously still. And then unless they get in the cap, the enemy that is, gets in the cap or they get spotted, the bot literally just stays stationary and does not make an attempt to actually move. So I don't know if that's a bug or whether Wargaming's just not got the bots done correctly. But yeah, I think it's interesting at least to see bots within World of Tanks. I don't think it's something I personally like. But then again, I mean, I can pull off damage games like this very, very easily and pick up so much silver, so I'm not going to complain too much. I think the Cold War is definitely one for new players. You can learn the mechanics of the game. It's very, very good for new players, I think. You can kind of earn enough silver, especially if you get that premium MOBAT within the game. You can definitely earn so much silver like this. And of course, even if you aren't using the ×2 silver boost, you can still make probably 300 to 400,000 on a really good game like this, and that is absolutely crazy considering on the World War II mode, if you have like a superb game, like the best game in a premium tank at tier 8 with a high silver bonus, you may be able to earn about 200,000 base silver. Now, yes, I don't fire premium in this, so that takes away from the cost in terms of how much I'm spending, which is very, very nice. You know, the premium rounds on the Cobra Cat don't really improve that much when you fire them. They are heat as well, so if you're coming up against some of those spaced armored Russian tanks, they really don't work very well at all. So yeah, overall kind of liking the silver earn within Cold War, but I definitely am not too much of a fan of the actual gameplay. But of course, we will still feature gameplay on this channel just to kind of show you how you can play within Cold War and get results like this. I don't think is particularly too difficult. It just comes along every now and again when you can pick up so much damage, put yourself in the right kind of position, and of course you can use some of the positions that you're seeing in the background of this gameplay and the first gameplay, and then you can maybe use that to your advantage to basically come up with damage results like this, at least hopefully. Now, the dilemma, what am I thinking about doing now, and I really want your opinions on this, is actually, do I go down the Cold War light tanks? Do you want to see content on the brand new tanks within the game, or would you rather just watch other content on World War II? Do you want to see premium tank reviews? Do you want to see premium tank gameplays, guides and stuff like that for World War II, or do you want to see some of the new tanks if I can possibly make that? So of course leave that in the comment section down below. That is also part of this dilemma. That's why I've been needing to grind out so much silver, and that's what I've been doing, and hopefully we'll be able to get you that content as soon as possible and show you how you can play them to your best of your ability, at least using my experience of light tanks within World of Tanks anyway. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, and also if you want to check out more content like this on Cold War, I have got a few videos that feature Cold War content, and of course if you want to check out the in-depths of all of the new light tanks, then yesterday's video we go into the statistics, teaching you kind of about the tank, how it's probably going to play in game, and of course we've got loads and loads of guides from camo spotting, we've got assistance damage guides. I think we've got plenty of guides within the channel, and they're all linked in one playlist. I think it's called World of Tanks Console Guides and Gameplay. So if you want to check out that, learn a bit more about the game, if you want to learn something, then yeah, that's there for you. Other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see some of your comments in the comment section down below. Goodbye.